What's up, everyone? Let's talk about if you only make $22 an hour, how much can you afford, and what is your take home pay? And what would I do as a millionaire to get myself ahead in this situation? So, I have made $22 an hour before, so I know this number and how it works and how I budget for it. So, I make $22 an hour. So I'm gonna use the 50, 30, 20% rule. So 50% will come into my needs, 30% for my wants, and 20% for saving and debt repayment. So let's get into this. Let's calculate it. That's the first step all you need to do. So my gross annual income is $22 an hour times. Now let's do my grossly monthly income. That's what really matters. Now I make $4,500 and or $45,760 a year. Divide that by 12, and you're gonna end up with $3,813. So my net income a month is gonna be about $3,813.33. All right, now we know how much money is our take-home pay a month. So using that 50, 30, 20% rule, what can we afford? So let's break this down. This is a simple framework to allocate your money. So 50% is housing, utilities, grocery, transportation, essential bills. So how much can I spend on essential bills if I make $3,813 a month? So 3,800 divided by 2 is going to be $1,900 I can spend a month on rent, on electric, on my gas bill, my car. This is how I have to break it down. So if I have a car payment of $500 instead of having a fully paid off house, then guess what? Or a fully paid off car, my bad on that one. Guess what's going to happen? I will have to take it from this budget area. So let's do the math. If I take $800 or $500 for it, it's going to leave me with $1,400. Well, if I have $1,400 and I'm going to have to find a place to rent. Well, with that $1,400, am I going to use all of it on a property that I have to rent out for $1,200? No. I'm sorry, I'm on a $1,400 budget. That means I'm going to have to look for a place to rent for $700 to $1,000. Luckily, I found some. Here's some I found. And I'm going to go with the $700, $800. So let's go with the $800. And that leaves me with $606 a month. Well, I need to pay about $100 for medical and dental. So that's $100 gone, $300, and that will be used on my cell phone plan. That's another $100 a month, and I am left $200 for food that month. That's how I will break down that first 50%. Now the next 30%, right, is $1,149. And this is going to go for my entertainment, my dining out, shopping, and hobbies. Well, I'm not going to really go out. I'm a little bit special on this part, and I would use this on my anything extra. So I'm going to put $200 going out every month. I'm not going to be a total insider or just stay around because I want to go out and have fun too. So I'm going to have $900 a month. Now, what I'm going to do with this $900 is something special. I'm going to put $500 into a Roth IRA. Yes, this is something weird, but this is my wants. I want to invest for my future, and this is separate from my savings. So $500 leaves me $400 for my hobbies like fishing, going on trips, and travel. So I'm going to leave that in the bank for $400 a month. That'll give me about $4,800 a year to go travel with. and it's automatically going to the same. And now that other 20% is going to savings to build my emergency fund, and the numbers on the screen, $2. And that will help me build up my emergency fund so I can get 6 months into my emergency fund. And yes, I'm gonna need about 6 months because that's where I feel the safest. Now, this is where you also save for your goals, for a house, whatever else you want to do. So I would actually put that money to purchase a house after I get my 6 months expenses. And that would be $762. Now, that's how I would separate it up for my 50-30-20 rule. Now, let's go into creative a detailed budget. Now, let's go into, for your purpose, you need a list of fixed expenses like rent, car payment, insurance, and student loans. And that is going to go into your needs file because you're going to have to pay for all that. And you're also going to have to track your variable expenses in your grocery, utility, gas, entertainment. You can use a spreadsheet. You can use apps. There's all different ways you can track this. I like using my bank app and then it itemizes it for me. And then I pull it into Excel sheet and work through the issues. Now, how can you create a budget that's successful? It's automatic, your savings. So this is where you go set up automatic transfer from your checking account to your Roth IRA, to your retirement account, to whatever you want to do. And that's how I would budget my 50-30-20 rule. So let me give you some tips on it now. Your tips on your hourly wage earning. So plan your budget as if you fewer hours than you expect. Don't count your overtime. Your overtime is for bonuses, for getting to your goals, investing. Do not count it towards it because that's how it works. Because you want to have a bare minimum budget. Okay, you got to make an extra grand from all the overtime you did that month. That's good. But you want to use that for future investment. And that's just how I would do it. You can do whatever you want or even pay off debt, and that would be even better. Now, save extra paycheck. If you have a month with more hours, higher pay, save that additional income for your financial goal. You want to be financially successful. This is what you have to do. I did this myself. All my overtime hours I put into so I can make down payment on my rental properties. I could grow my dividend portfolio. I can grow my investments. And now I don't have to put anything else in my investments. And I could retire a millionaire because I did the math. And that's where I want you to do it. Now, if you're having issues with budget and you can't find a rental property that you can stay at, consider roommates. Living with roommates can significantly lower your housing expense. This frees up extra incomes, needs, savings, or even move back home to your parents. Now, I know someone who moved back home with his parents. He made $22 an hour. He lived at his parents' house for 2.5 years and did not pay rent, didn't pay utilities, nothing. He saved up $110,000 so he can put down his first property, so he can live in it with his fiance now. Or I think he just got married, so he got married and he put that money down to pay for his own property just because he used help from his parents. Now, this is an Asian thing. I don't know why more people don't do it. I would let my kids live with me if they're saving their money to make a down payment on their house. But hey, that's all up to you. And let's go into number 5 is setting financial goals. Emergency funds aim to save 3 to 6 months of living expense. This is one of the goals you need to do. I like having 6 months, but that's just me because, I have a family and I worry. And future investments. Once you have a stable emergency fund, you can start exploring investment in stocks or even cryptocurrency. So this is where once you set your goals, you get your 3 6 months, start investing your money as heavy as you can, because earlier you do that, more you let time help you with compound interest so you can be wealthy in the future. And that's how I would budget my $22 an hour